Hi Beer Geeks, I'm having some breakfast. But today what I wanted to do is basically just go through my frequently asked beer questions to kind of get that out of the way, and also as a way for us to connect, because at the end of the video I'm going to kind of chain in some people that I would like to hear their frequently asked beer questions. So I put together some questions, so in your video, and just anyone, feel free to make a video answering your beer questions, because I'm sure as a beer geek, as well as you are me, we're beer geeks. Hi, I'm Nitch. Welcome to Tasting Nitch. As beer geeks, I'm sure you also get asked kind of the same questions over and over again. So I just wrote them down and here they are. Question number one, how did you get into beer? To which often I respond by saying, like, I opened it and that's how I got into it. I don't give weird questions, people. No, I got into beer because I kind of grew up around good beer, and then when I started traveling, I realized that wasn't the case everywhere, that not everyone had great beer available to them. The reason why I stay in this community of people, the reason why I'm so passionate about beer, is because I find that people who are interested in beer are the most resourceful, just honest, welcoming people. They're just really creative and passionate and generally good people. So I stay in beer because of the craft beer community. I bet you get this one probably as much as I do. What's your favorite beer? Question number two. Of course, I'm sure, okay, my answer to this often is like, depends on my mood and the weather. Generally it's those two things, or what I'm doing. You know, like my favorite beer is the best beer that I can get my hands on at that very moment. In that, I would say that one of the first beers that really blew my socks off and made me realize that beer was more of a food, in the fact that it has such a diversity and such a range versus something like liquor, was when I had Maui Coconut Porter. That beer was my life-changing moment, I think. I'd had a lot of beer before that, but that was one where I thought, like, you know, I could hold hands with this beer. We could walk out into the sunset together. Following, that's question number three. So kind of with that, if you could have one beer forever, what would it be? I like to answer this question with kind of a funny way of thinking about it. Like, if I could have one beer forever, it would be a Saison, because I feel like Saison generally has the yeast still in the bottle, so then I could cultivate the yeast from the one beer that I have, or the one strain, and then I can make more beers. So that's the beauty of beer, is that generally I could probably use any of the ingredients around me to make more different kinds of beer, as long as I have yeast from one strain. I mean, I guess I could get it from the air as well. I don't know. One beer forever. I couldn't even have one style forever, let's be honest. Question number four, and maybe you don't get this one as much, so again, feel free to just say whatever you want, but I get, how is it that you drink so much? It is 10 in the morning. And how is it that you stay so healthy and thin while drinking all this beer? Me personally, it's because I balance my diet. I walk a lot. I don't drive a car. I eat small portions. I'm kind of like a picker, so I just eat things when I'm hungry. I don't drink actually that much. I just sit around with beer often in my hands, and I drink a lot of water. Just drink equal amount of water to what it is that you drink. And an easy way of doing that, and a nice way of being cool and in the scene with people, is if you drink a beer with a vessel, keep the vessel. You can pour it into a glass if you're into that, as most beers probably should be, not like what I'm doing here. But then when you're done with the beer, pour water into the drinking vessel, the bottle or the can, and then just finish that. And then once you're done with that, then you can have your next beer, because it balances you out, it keeps you from getting less drunk, it's better on your body. And then yeah, just physical activity, you know? I dance. Don't sit when you can stand, don't stand when you can dance. I think it's cute, and I actually kind of apply that to my life. Oh, maybe you get this question. I don't know. Here's one. Number 5. Are you an alcoholic? This is something that I want to do a video about in the future because this is a great topic for us to talk about. Alcohol is a poison. There's a great video on Cracked this week that's about if beer advertising was real, and it basically just explains the fact that beer is a poison, which it is. It's a mind-altering, physical-altering drug that can really F up your body and your mind and your life. That being said, things in moderation are generally okay, except for people that are prone to actual addiction. So we can talk about the difference between preference and addiction and something like alcoholism. But we'll get into that another time. Me personally, no, I'm not an addictive person. I do get drunk sometimes. I do really enjoy drinking and being around awesome people and consuming delicious things. So no, I'm not an alcoholic. Number 6. What's your favorite beer ingredient? There's a lot of answers to this if you want to get creative, but for me personally, it's yeast. I'm just obsessed with yeast. I think it adds life and so much character. It is what makes beer what it is, and yeast fangirl, you know. Number 7. Do you brew? Which obviously for some of you that's an obvious answer because a lot of you are brewers. Me personally, I have a small apartment. I travel a lot. Brewing requires a certain amount of equipment, but I like to taste stuff, and I like to appreciate the things that other people have created, even if I'm not able to create it myself. So no, I don't brew beer currently in my life. I do know how to brew beer, and I go to brew sessions with friends, and I'm still passionate about that aspect of the beer world as well. Next question. Oh, what was your first beer? I guess I answered that already. But my first beer, oh wait, what was my first beer? Oh, my first beer is probably whatever my dad had around at the time, you know, in the 80s. So like a Budweiser, Bud Light, Busch, Milwaukee's Best, something, you know. Yeah. There's a generation that's coming up after us who are gonna be able to say cool stuff like, I think it was an Allagash. Good Lord, the days are changing, kids. And our last question, who in beer world do you look up to? So for me, I think that Michael Jackson, I think like a lot of beer nerds, he's the one. His writing really inspired generations, including mine and more to come. I believe just he was the first person to really validate beer as something more than just something that you drink, just something you pull out of a tap, and gave it a real life and connected it with a lot of people. And the way he lived as well was very passionate, and he's just a saint of the beer world too. But Randy Mosher is probably someone that he's the reason why my blog's name is Tasting Nitch, because his book Tasting Beer inspired me so much, and I think that he's still all over the world doing fantastic things. So those are kind of my two there. That's it from me, my lovelies. So at the end of this video, again, you guys are all welcome to make one. I would love to hear your answers to your frequently asked beer questions, but I'm gonna tag 5 people. So when you make a video, if you also could tag 5 people at the end of it to kind of inspire those people to make a video, like a little bit of a poke, poke, nudge, nudge, and then link them to this video so that they understand what the game is. So I'm gonna poke at Joe. For brewers, you have a channel, you get to do one because I would love to hear your basic answers to stuff. Chris, look at us being beer social geeks, huh? Here's not a beer review video that you can do. Rob, we talk all the time, so I probably know the answers, but I just want to tag you because I like poke. And you know what? I was thinking, guess who else has a beer channel? Sam Calagione. So Sam, you make videos on YouTube, give us your frequently asked beer questions. Just, you know, basic line stuff. That's it for me. I'm running out the door to do some awesome stuff. Check out my blog, tastynitch.com, if you want more information about where I am and what I'm doing. I'm most active on my Instagram, and if you have any spare change, or if you'd like to buy me one of these morning beers, please support my Patreon. I really appreciate everyone who's already on there. Last night, we had an awesome movie session. We just streamed a bunch of trauma movies, and it was a blast. And that Patreon, your support, you being here and connecting with me, that's how I'm able to keep creating this awesome content and advocating all of this good beer stuff and keeping us all connected. So thank you again for your support. I appreciate everything you do, even if you just want to answer these questions in the comments below as well. I'd be more than happy to respond to that. So have a great day. Merci et au revoir.